Wait. I'll tell Mr. Holmes that you're here.
You might as well tell him that my time is as valuable as his. I prefer not to be kept waiting.
I'll tell him.
I saw you driving by the cottage. I thought you might stop in.
I plan to on the way back.
You know, you really shouldn't take that old car of yours on these dirt roads. They're nothing but pony carts.
I wouldn't do it at night.
You could skid into the mire.
You do worry about me, don't you?
When you let me.
You seem on good terms with Sir Henry.
Makes you think that.
Why you walk into his home?
Or is free and easy about such things.
Nothing's easy on the moor, Jack.
Have to pay your respects to Sir Henry.
Why should I? I'm no longer a neighbor of Baskerville Hall.
Then why are you here?
I think I can answer that, Mr. Stapleton. I called Miss Laura Lyons here for an appointment. You don't need to trouble yourself. Expected to see you in Tracy Combs.
I'll be spending some time with a friend. I thought I would save you the trouble.
Friend on the mall.
Dr. Mortimer.
Yes. My associate Dr. Watson is at his cottage now.
Perhaps I should have made an appointment.
No, actually, your time is most opportune. Sorry I haven't taken you up on your insect collection, Stapleton. Situation I plan to remedy.
You'll find my collection quite special.
Yes. Stapleton and I met not too long ago on the moor. As I recall, he was in search of a grizzled skipper butterfly.
It escaped my net.
Oh, pity. Are you here to see Sir Henry?
My sister and I, yes.
Might try the potting shed. I believe he and Barrymore were there earlier.
You give me a ride back when you leave.
Happy to.
I've only a few things to say to Sir Henry. I won't be long.
Old friends.
Mr. Stapleton has been exceedingly helpful.
Won't you have a seat?
There's a great deal of excitement in the village.
Oh?
The police have traced a dangerous convict to the moor. Apparently, he escaped from Princeton prison some time ago.
Yes. That would be Selden, the Notting Hill murder.
You're well informed, Mr. Holmes.
Well, in some circles, there's considerable doubt as to his sanity.
Sane or insane, the farmers hereabout don't like it.
Yes, I'm told they could receive £100 if they provide information.
The chance of £100 is a poor thing compared with the chance of getting your throat cut. But surely we're not here to discuss a convict who may or may not be insane.
Yes, quite right. I have the understanding that you had the pleasure of knowing Sir Charles Baskerville.
Yes.
And I've also had the pleasure of knowing your father.
I don't know what you're driving at, Mr. Holmes. There's nothing in common between my father and me. I owe him nothing, and his friends are not mine. If not for Sir Charles and some other kind hearts, I might have starved for all that my father cared.
No. Did you correspond with Sir Charles?
Why are you asking these questions?
I can assure you, Miss Lyons, they are necessary.
I wrote to him once or twice to thank him for his kindness.
Kindness? Would you care to explain?
I've already explained as much. He contributed money so I could set up a small shop in Tracy Combs.
Did you ever write to Sir Charles asking that he meet you?
That's an odd question.
And I intend to repeat it. Did you ever write to Sir Charles asking that he meet you?
No.
Not on the day of his death.
No.
Perhaps your memory deceives you. I can even quote a passage for you. Please, please, as you are a gentleman, burn this letter and meet me at the gate at 10 o'clock.
Then he didn't do as I asked.
You do Sir Charles an injustice. He did burn the letter. Well, at least most of it anyway.
All right, I wrote it. I wish for him to assist me further, I thought, if I got an interview I would gain his help. So I asked him to meet.
At an hour when the moor was dark and deserted,
The hour seemed unimportant.
but you asked him to meet you outside of the house.
Why does it matter? I never went.
Why?
Private matter concerns only me.
Why deny you wrote the letter?
Obvious, I should think. Gossip.
Yet you admit you asked Sir Charles to meet you on the exact hour and the exact place you met his death.
I do.
Yet you deny you kept the appointment?
Yes.
Is that all you wish to tell me, Miss Lyons?
Mr. Holmes, that is all I am going to tell you. I'll wait for Mr. Stapleton in the car.
Remarkable woman. Not in the manner born, but making an excellent imitation.
You're a bloodhound in the true sense of the word, Mr. Holmes.
Yes. There are 75 perfumes for which it is imperative that a criminal investigator be able to determine the difference between. Miss Lyons favors none of them.
How did you find her?
Well, she found me, really. I must say, she isn't quite what I expected.
What did you expect?
Someone less sure of herself.
Henry!
I saw you crossing over the moor through my window.
Darling, it's Jack. He has something to say to you. He was looking for you.
Oh, I believe I misdirected him to the potting shed.
Jack! Jack! He's already on his way back.
Something wrong with the shoe. It doesn't fit properly.
It fits.
Where's his companion?
That's the problem. There's only just one.
Should return long before this, Sir Henry.
You have something to say to me?
I do. It's rather personal.
Anything you have to say to me, you may say in front of Mr. Holmes.
I don't believe my presence here is required.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. And you will come and see my insect collection. I'm anxious for your reaction.
Yes, you can count on it.
My brother wishes to apologize for his temper.
I prefer to speak for myself.
I didn't mean to speak for you, Jack.
Then don't! You must understand that the thought of losing my sister is difficult for me. She's all I have for family. I suspected your motives, that you were simply using your title and position to impress her.
Nothing could have been further from my intent.
I know that now.
You do realize I intend to marry your sister. She's told you, hasn't she?
She has. I will withdraw all opposition if you promise to wait 3 months until you are completely certain that marriage is what you truly want. I've seen one unhappy marriage on the moor. I have no desire to see another. My sister's happiness is my only concern.
She is no Laura Lyons, and I am no starving artist.
Then we are agreed. 3 months.
What must be, must be. 3 months.
Wonderful.
Will you be riding back with Laura and me, Beryl?
No, I'll walk back.
Not sure that's wise. That escaped convict might be lurking.
I'll make sure she gets home safe and sound.
Thank you, Sir Henry. I wonder, would you dine with us at the cottage tomorrow evening?
I'd be delighted.
Good. I'll go find Beryl.
3 months. If it will please your brother, I will stick to the provision.
I knew he'd come round.
Have you always been afraid of him?
Yes, I think I have.
Has he harmed you in any way, ever?
I was surprised to find Laura was here.
I think Mr. Holmes was as well.
Mrs. Barrymore said you were looking for me, sir.
Ah, Perkins, yes. I'm looking for the other half of this.
Aren't these the boots you gave me yesterday for polish?
Yes. Bear Barrymore brought them up to my room last night, and when I went to put them on just now, I could only find just one.
I can't imagine where the other one must be.
Neither can I, my favorite pair.
I'll turn the place upside down.
No need, just locate the other maid.
I will, Sir Henry. I can't imagine what's become of it. Will you be staying for tea, miss?
If Sir Henry has no objection.
You'll be seeing a lot more of Miss Stapleton around these parts, Perkins.
Oh, I'd like that, Sir Henry. Especially if the Barrymores leave. I would like being the only woman around this place. I scare easily.
Are they really leaving?
Not just yet. But you can't blame them, can you? I mean, the curse of the Baskervilles. I try to pretend everything is okay, but I do realize there's a sword over my head ready to fall any moment.
Henry, whatever this thing is, we'll defeat it together. And Mr. Holmes will let no harm come to you. You've got to believe that.
I tried.
Good. I'll see about arranging a nice bouquet for the coffee table. The wildflowers are almost done for this time of year.
Don't be long.
I beg your pardon, Miss Stapleton.
I'm done.
Sir Henry! I taking an inventory of the potting shed. And you saw I'm missing an axe, 2 shovels, and a pitchfork. You will be needing some new tools, sir.
Mr. Barrymore, you haven't been entirely honest with me, have you?
About the inventory.
No!
What are you saying, sir? I'm afraid I don't understand.
Your family has lived with mine in this house for generations. And here I find you in some dark plot against me?
I assure you, Sir Henry, you have no reason to think such a thing.
Haven't I?
Beg pardon, Sir Henry. Perkins mentioned something amiss about your shoe. What's wrong?
Sir Henry believes that I engage in some dark plot against him.
I'm not fooled by your trick with the flashlight at the window. Sit down, Miss Barrymore. You look unwell.
No, Sir Henry, you misunderstand. No plot against you.
Mr. Holmes! Mr. Holmes!
We have to go. This is the end of it. You can pack our things.
Oh, I've brought us to this. This is all my doing, Sir Henry, all mine. My husband has done nothing except for my sake, and because I asked him.
What do you mean?
My wife is speaking the truth. There was a plot. It's not against you.
My unhappy brother is starving on the moor.
Couldn't let him perish.
You mean your brother?
It's the escaped convict, sir. Seldom.
Sir Henry, I expressly ask that you leave this matter to me. Now, I've discovered that you have nothing to fear from the light signals on the moor.
Selden is my younger brother. I humored him when he was a lad and gave him his way in almost everything. As he grew older, he fell in with a bad lot. The devil was in him. From crime to crime, he sank lower and lower.
He's quite mad.
Don't say
Well, he came here for our help.
Dragged himself here one night, starving. I couldn't refuse to help him.
Aren't you overstepping yourself? He's a wanted criminal, Mr. Holmes. Dangerous.
I can assure you, Sir Henry, that Selden is dangerous. But to no one else but himself. Mind is deranged, but in a childlike manner. He isn't the same man as he was when he once murdered. I believe it's drug damage. I've seen cases like this before, in Toronto. Nonetheless, Selden will live out the rest of his days as no more than a vegetable. Passive, delirious.
You've talked to him, sir?
Yes, he has been on the moor for some weeks and has been a considerable help to me. A fact I shall relay to the authorities. He needs treatment, rehabilitation.
Sir Henry. Sir Henry,
What is it, Perkins?
I found this under the door in the kitchen. I heard someone outside, but when I looked, I couldn't see anyone there.
Let me see it.
Wait, Sir Henry, are you in the habit of receiving letters in such a manner?
Under the kitchen door? Certainly not.
Perkins, give it to me. Curious.
What is it?
Unless I'm mistaken, and I never am, this is the same stationery used in your London warning.
What? What does it say?
If you value your life, leave Baskerville Hall tonight. There will be no further warning.
The words cut from a newspaper and stuck to a page?
No. It's handwritten and signed.
Signed?
Signed Mortimer.
We'll soon discover the mystery, Dr. Mortimer.
I trust so. It's a nuisance being called away at this hour.
There you are, Holmes.
I see Barrymore found you. Good of you to come, Mortimer.
He said it was urgent.
Oh, it is.
We were just about to sit down to dinner and were expecting Miss Lyons.
She hadn't arrived by the time Barrymore came calling.
Odd. She left Baskerville Hall some hours ago.
Not alone. The suspect, the escaped convict, is still on the move.
No, Stapleton was with her.
Oh, he knows the moor as well as anyone.
You know the moor quite well, Mortimer.
You've discovered something of importance, haven't you, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, I have. I wanted if you would be so kind.
Outrageous!
I take it you disown officership.
If you value your life, leave Baskerville Hall tonight. There will be no further warning. Why, the person who signed my name hasn't the remotest idea of my handwriting style. Look.
Yes, I figured as much. Mortimer, are you familiar with your guest's handwriting?
Watson, he has a bold hand.
No, you twit! Referring to Watson, I meant Cora Lyons.
Oh. I'm familiar with her penmanship. Laura did not write this message.
Why would anyone sign Mortimer's name to this letter and not even make an attempt at a good forgery?
Perhaps to delay investigation. But I don't think the signature is important. What matters is that the writer is trying to press the warning. The net draws tighter.
It settles one issue.
Which is?
There's no supernatural force behind this ugly business.
Then how do we account for the beast you yourself described to me? You know, dripping with a bluish flame, eyes ringed with fire.
Oh. Well, I forgot about that.
Well, I hadn't.
The moor plays tricks, Dr. Watson. You saw something you mistook for the spectre.
You certainly changed your tune. I know what I saw.
And are we to surmise that your spectral beast can now wield pen and ink?
Being rude, Holmes.
No need to take offense.
Positively rude.
I take it you have suspicions about Laura.
I have suspicions about a great many things, Mortimer. Were you aware that Miss Lyons was in correspondence with Sir Charles?
No.
Were you aware that Barrymore was in London at the exact time of Sir Henry's stay?
Barrymore never leaves the moor.
You're mistaken. I have it on account that Barrymore left Baskerville Hall during Sir Henry's London stay.
On whose account?
Gentlemen on the moor.
Jack Stapleton.
You'll be casting your doubts upon me next. You don't think I had a hand in this?
Well, you did leave out one exceedingly revealing fact when you called upon our services, Mortimer.
I told you everything.
Everything?
I'm not in the habit of lying.
You left out one extremely salient point. You are the executor of Sir Charles' estate.
So what if I am?
In the event something were to happen to Sir Henry, who has yet to make a will, you would be in a most enviable position.
You go too far, Holmes.
On the contrary, I don't go far enough.
Not telling you was an oversight. Nothing more.
Indeed, oversight.
You know of my bad financial situation.
Yes, Watson told me.
She always did have a rather large mouth.
I protest!
Quiet.
Mr. Holmes! Mr. Holmes! Have you seen Sir Henry about?
It's close to the house. What was that you said about Sir Henry?
He's not in his room.
Where could he have got to?
The Hound! Watson, come! We may be too late.
What is it? What's going on?
You Barrymore!
Barrymore?
Don't ask questions! Do as you're told! Be quick about it!
Weapons, something about the Hound and Sir Henry. What were you doing?
Well, I was trying to light the fire, Sergeant Portage. Where's your husband? We need him.
Perkins is fetching him. Where are Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson?
They went on to the moor.
They're not going to do him any harm.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, he's like a child now. He wouldn't hurt anyone.
They'll need help, Barrymore. Holmes, Watson, they've gone after Sir Henry. He's out there. No! Sir Henry would never go on a moor at night. Don't waste time.
With a strong light in the whole chest. They mustn't harm him.
Why would they want to do Sir Henry harm? You don't talk sense, woman.
Not Sir Henry. My brother. He's been out there for weeks.
Brother?
Selden, the Notting Hill murderer.
The ex-convict? Who's got the countryside terrified?
Yes.
You've known he's out there the whole time and you said nothing.
Mr. Holmes said that he would help him.
They're not after your brother, they're after the Hound!
Oh, this place is cursed. I've never wanted to believe it before, but it's true.
You talk rubbish. I better go see if I need it.
Oh, don't leave me.
I'll get you a sedative. Sir, I found the flashlight. There's a good beam to cut the fog.
I'm afraid that will be of no help.
Sir Henry.
Dead.
Impossible!
If only that were true. I've never heard screams like that from any man or woman. Beast had bitten and clawed and chewed.
Dr. Watson, please.
You'll have to excuse my nerves. I've never encountered anything like this before. The supernatural is quite beyond me.
I don't understand. Why would he go onto the moor after all these warnings?
I don't know. He tried to flee, but the creature was too swift.
Uncle and nephew murdered. One frightened to death by the sight of the beast.
The other driven to his death in his flight to escape from it. Ugh. Holmes will be along shortly. Give him a hand, won't you, Barrymore?
Better bring the body in here. That won't be necessary. There can be no mistake. He's dead. There is no mistake.
Poor Sir Henry.
I'm afraid to report that your sympathy is misplaced. You'll have to prepare yourself for another shock.
What do you mean, sir?
In her distress, Watson neglected to wait for my full report. While it is true that the man is dead, the man was wearing rags.
Rags.
I regret to have to bring you this information.
It's my brother, isn't it?
Yes.
Why would the Hound attack Selden?
The Hound had his scent. You see, Selden was wearing one of Sir Henry's old hunting jackets.
I can explain. A woman from the church committee came and asked if we had clothes to donate to the bazaar, and Sir Henry donated a hunting jacket and some other things.
They were warm and comfortable, and I thought, why should others have them when my brother was cold and in rags on the moor?
There's no need to reproach yourself.
Perhaps it's for the best. I only wish he hadn't died so horribly.
Perkins found me, said I was wanted.
Where have you been?
We fear for your life.
You promised never to go onto the moor at night.
I was in the potting shed. Any prohibition against that, Mr. Holmes?
None.
Why are you all so strange?
My wife's brother, sir, Selden.
Savaged by the beast.
So the curse doesn't just affect the Baskervilles.
I wish that were true.
How is Selden connected to me?
He was wearing your hunting jacket, sir.
The one you gave to the church.
Yes, the Hound had your scent. How did the Hound get my scent?
When dealing with the supernatural, ordinary explanations are worthless.
I'm afraid I can't agree.
At this point, what choice have you?
God's sake, man! An investigator needs facts, not religion or rumors. This has been a most unsatisfactory case.
Can't you promise any help?
I can promise you something more startling than hope. By tomorrow night, Sir Henry, the curse of the Baskervilles will either be broken or someone in this room will be dead.
Makes me feel strange sitting here writing all this down.
One should always have one's affairs in order, Sir Henry.
I know. Just never been concerned about a will before. My own will, that is.
You'll feel better for it.
Will I?
Count on it. Can't imagine why Holmes went to see Dr. Mortimer this afternoon. Yesterday he practically accused him of being implicated in this whole thing.
At least we're done with the ghastly business with Sully.
Yes. You're dining with the Stapletons tonight.
Unless Mr. Holmes has any objection to it. Somehow I feel this will is a prelude to my own.
Trust Holmes.
I do intellectually. Emotionally, I'm as tight as a knot in tie.
Sir Henry. My wife and I will be leaving now, sir.
There's nothing I can say to make you stay?
No, I'm afraid not, Sir Henry. We think it's best we started our life elsewhere.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Barrymore. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Barrymore. You will write me and let me know how things are.
Yes, sir.
Well, we should go. Don't want to miss our train. Thank you, Dr. Watson.
Luck to you both.
They'll be all right. They did well by my uncle's will.
Handsomely. Still, I've never trusted Barrymore. And I didn't know there was a late train at this hour.
What does a train have anything to do? Sorry. I'm just so tense.
I can well believe it. You've been under a great deal of strain, and Holmes is up in his room smoking his foul-smelling tobacco. He says this is a six-pipe case.
I'm sorry to intrude like this. Mrs. Barrymore said I should come right in. I'm Mrs. Lyons, Mr. Franklin's daughter.
I've heard of you. This is Dr. Watson.
Oh, Mortimer's old colleague. He speaks highly of you.
Thank you. I'm sorry we didn't meet the other evening. Won't you have a seat?
I must see Mr. Holmes. It's important.
I'll get it.
Thank you.
Aren't you afraid to cross the moor?
I understand they captured the convict.
Yes. But,
You mean the storm, then?
no, the Hound.
It is in the other world that will hurt one, Sir Henry. It's the living.
I believe I overheard Mr. Holmes say you're from the nearby village of Tracy.
I have a small shop.
I have a distant relative there.
Oh, I've heard of no Baskervilles in the area.
No, the name's Desmond. Can I get you something? I'm afraid I'm a bit understaffed at the moment. The maid leaves at dark and the Barrymores have deserted.
I've seen with their suitcases.
The place won't be the same without them.
I want you to know, Sir Henry, that I had the utmost respect for your uncle. He was a kind, generous, and most thoughtful man. His death disturbed me.
I expected to see you earlier than this, Miss Lyons.
And you had returned.
Well, I hope so.
I'll leave you for some privacy.
No, Sir Henry, please remain. What Miss Lyons has to reveal concerns you.
Me?
Well, uncle to be more precise.
You anticipate.
Miss Lyons, I am a flawless judge of character. And you did not impress me as the type of female who could live comfortably with a serious lie.
It is true that I wrote the letter to Sir Charles.
At the instigation of another.
What other?
Miss Lyons, I'm aware of all that you've communicated to me in our earlier interview, and all you've withheld in regard to this matter. I see this case as one of murder, and the evidence implicates not only your friend, Jack Stapleton, but also his wife.
His wife?
His wife? What are you saying?
The person who has posed as his sister is really his wife.
I don't believe it.
Nor I. Jack is not a married man.
Yes, Beryl unwittingly revealed her secret when she told Watson about the school that she and her brother ran in North County. I made inquiries, and an employee of the school was kind enough to send along this photograph. It was taken 4 years ago. I think you will recognize the couple, Mr. and Mrs. Stapleton. The employee wrote as much on the back.
Let me see that. It's true.
Stapleton asked you to write the letter to lure Sir Charles outside of the house.
Jack, he promised to marry me once my problems were settled.
No wonder Beryl was afraid of her brother.
That's why he flew into a rage when he saw you and Beryl close together. He couldn't control the instincts of a jealous husband.
I swear to you, when I wrote the letter, I never dreamed of any harm to the old gentleman. He'd been a good friend.
Yes, I suppose the reason Stapleton gave was that Sir Charles could help pay with the legal expenses connected with your divorce.
As Jack said, he couldn't help me because he was penniless.
Yes, and after you sent the letter, he persuaded you from keeping the appointment. Well, I think on the whole you've had a most fortunate escape, Miss Lyons. You had Mr. Stapleton in your power, and he knew it, yet you are still alive.
I couldn't remain silent any longer.
The line between fear and love is often a very thin one. And as you have been honest with me, Miss Lyons, so too I shall be honest with you. Your life is still in danger.
He's liable to hurt Beryl.
Not if everything falls into place, but time is of the essence. Watson, please escort Miss Lyons to Mortimer's cottage.
I can take care of myself.
You heard me, Watson.
Come along, my dear. You can trust my protection.
I was right, you know. Nothing's easy on the moor.
You must be really worried about her safety.
Oh, hang her safety. I merely want some guarantee she won't warn Stapleton.
Then we must help Beryl.
No, you will do precisely as I say.
What is it?
You will walk to Stapleton Cottage and enjoy your dinner.
You can't be serious. I don't know if I can face Jack Stapleton.
Sir Henry, that is precisely what you must do. And you will reveal to him the path you will be taking on your return.
Where will you be?
Nearby, on the moor.
Mr. Holmes.
Leave within the hour.
Mr. Holmes! Holmes! Barrymore! Everyone's left. Leave within the hour. Of the origin of the Hound of the Baskervilles. Know that. Who's there? In the time of the Great Rebellion, there was a Hugo of that name. Who's there?
Good evening, Henry.
Beryl.
Yes, Beryl. Sweet it endearing, Beryl.
What's wrong? Mr. Holmes knows you're married to Jack Stapleton.
Does he? I'll have to deal with that in time.
Wait. You and Jack planned this all together?
Don't be a fool, Jack. He's weak. Never did a thing I wasn't right there behind him, pushing, insisting. No, it was all my idea.
I don't understand.
Jack's the son of Roger Baskerville, the younger brother of Sir Charles, the one who supposedly fled to South America and died unmarried. With you out of the way, all this will be his. And that means mine.
He's my cousin.
It's outside the French doors, chained. I waited until the house was empty, until the moor was dark.
What is it?
Oh, you'll soon see. He's starved. I keep him that way. I'm going to release him.
No.
You have a choice, Henry. I can have him maul you inside the house, or it's on to the moor. Run out, race him if you can. It's your only hope. Run! Got shots?
That would be for the Hound, Mrs. Stapleton. Oh, I suspect the police have shot the doomed animal. You see, I convinced the wardens and others looking for Selden to remain on the moor for just one more night.
Jack warned you, didn't he?
Yes, you weren't as sure of him as you thought.
Well, you haven't won yet, Mr. Holmes. I know places on the moor you'll never find me.
Yes. Beryl! Oh, don't worry about her, Henry. Her melodramatic gesture is wasted. Police have this place completely surrounded.
How did you know she wouldn't be at the cottage?
Able assist by Mortimer. You see, he tracked Beryl to where the Hound was hidden, and then later observed her moving not to the cottage, to your house.
So then there really was a hound.
Yes, gigantic dog. Enormous, really. Part mastiff, part Great Dane.
And the fiery glow about the beast?
Simple trick with phosphorus, and your missing shoe would supply the scent.
And who wrote the letters?
Yes. Stapleton gave himself away with that handwritten note. How many second thoughts about his wife Beryl's murderous scheme? I recognize the scrawls, the same he used on his cards for his insect collection.
Holmes, the police have stopped everyone on the moor.
Yes, a simple precaution. They will pick up Stapleton in no time. Aha! And by the sound of those whistles, Beryl has been apprehended.
Beryl? What's she got to do with it?
And how would he hope to have claimed the inheritance?
Yes, well, any number of ways, really. He could have fled to South America, claimed identity there with the British authorities, or in London, and received some portion of the inheritance.
I was so afraid you suspected me. I thought of burning the warning with my name on it.
Yes, Mortimer, you have nothing to fear. You see, I am the last and highest court of appeal in detection, and I exonerate you.
Bit pompous, Holmes.
So Beryl had no feelings for you after all.
Oh, Sir Henry. If it is any consolation to you, the most winningest woman I've ever known was hanged for poisoning 3 little children for their insurance money. What? Hurry for the next train.
Now, this minute.
Yes. You see, I received a most interesting telegram. A retired officer from the Palace Guard is being blackmailed by a devilishly clever ruse. I suspect an organized ring in Moscow.
But my things, my clothes.
What about if you'd have Perkins pack up everything and just send it to Baker Street immediately?
First thing in the morning.
Excellent. Come, Watson. The game is foot.
The man has no mercy.
You're always welcome at Baskerville Hall.
Welcome back anytime.